I guess mom left. She will be joining in few minutes, sir. In few minutes, guys. Yeah. Ma'am, you there?
Yeah, I just joined. I couldn't, I just got kicked out of the
Ha,
session. I don't know
it's
why.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay, right? Okay. So to be an interior architect or an interior designer, you must have a certification that tells you, that claims you to be a designer, that you have this background, you have some knowledge about this and everything. Okay. So for being an interior decorator, you don't have to be anything because as the name indicates, designer, we are going to design something out of it. Okay. So right now I'll be sharing my screen. We have a little presentation which may take up to half an hour or 45 minutes. Okay. So yeah, can you guys see my screen now? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So okay, great. Okay, so now you know what an interior designer does. Like as in, like we design the spaces. Okay, so to start any design, there are like 5 basic stages. As in for any design, even if it's a great palatial bungalow you're going to design, a great mansion you're going to design, or even a small furniture or a lighting piece you're going to design, there are 5 stages to any design. Okay, so we'll be taking a look at those stages. Oh, sorry. Okay, the first stage of any design is the pre-design phase. Okay, so what we do in this pre-design phase, basically analyze and research everything possible. Okay, so before starting any design, or if a client is going to give you the project, we cannot just jump into the design. Okay, I'm starting to design or something. We have to have basic knowledge about what we are going to do, right? So this is the analysis and the research phase. So in this phase, what we'll be doing is the site analysis, which is like where is the sunlight coming from inside the space, how much space, how much percentage of sunlight is entering any space, what is the wind direction, what is the amount of wind, what is the wind speed which is coming inside a space, what is the humidity of the area, what is the type of soil available outside that area, or type of plants which is available outside there, the landscape. So all these possibility will be dealing in the site analysis. Okay, we must do the analysis and research. And next one comes the zoning and programming. That is basically the planning. So in zoning and programming, for example, if you take, okay, you're going to do a furniture layout in an area, you have to plan which is going to come near what. Okay, if you're taking a hanging light should come at the corners. Okay, which is near the side of a sofa or something, and a coffee table should be placed right behind, right in front of the sofa. So these kind of basic planning you should do first of all. Okay, this comes in programming and zoning. For example, in the second, on the right side top image, you can see a bubble kind of thing, right? That is called a bubble diagram. Bubble diagram is basically used for any type of planning because it helps to analyze what can come near anything, like the basic planning and scribbling kind of thing. Okay, and next we have to analyze the existing building structures and existing infrastructure. So what comes in this is, okay, for example, if you're doing an interior design, okay, you have to understand where the columns are running, where the structural elements are running, where the beams are running, as well as the infrastructure, where the drainage system is running, where the plumbing works are given on the site, where the electrical cutouts are given. So all these things you have to understand beforehand. Okay, this is what I talk about the analysis and research phase. And also you should have some sort of knowledge. You should give a heads up to the client that about your cost of the project, about the cost of the whole project. It doesn't need to be like the exact cost, like the estimation in beforehand, but you should give a budget, like this is going to be my budget, this will be the percentage I'm talking about. So all these things you have to give an heads up to the client, so that they are not surprised with you at the later stages. Okay, and also these are the important things you have to deal with the analysis and research phase. Also you have to do some other thing called the user analysis. Okay, what you can see here right now is an sample user analysis which I did for my academic thesis project. Okay, so that is like, first we have to understand the zoning of the thing which you're going to design, whether you're going to design a living room or bedroom or a kitchen, whatever that zoning, and the user of that particular area. Okay, what design you're going to give, the user of the area, the age category, whether it is going to be like a child friendly area, or even the old old age people can use. So that is the user thing. And next one is the program, what function basically they do in that particular area, the time use, that is like how much hours on a day or they approximately going to spend in that particular area. And also the thermal comfort in the area. Okay, thermal comfort refers to like the amount of heat we are going to feel inside the area. Okay, so all these things you have to note down initially, and take a quick research, make a quick research and analyze, like make a report of all these things. Okay, now you know what a pre-design phase is, right? Before any design, it is really mandatory to do this particular, never skip this phase at all, because it is going to be really important. Okay, so this is what pre-design phase is going to be about. Next one is the schematic design phase. Okay, now you have some sort of idea about what you're going to design, like the analysis, research, report, everything is done. Okay, now we are going to start the design. Okay, so in the schematic design phase, what you are going to do is evolve concepts, as in like you get ideas, you get inspiration from so many other things, and you're going to start the design work. As in like, for example, ideas and inspirations can be from anywhere. For example, it can be from the shape of the water bottle you're drinking water, or when you look outside the balcony, it can be from the shape of a leaf you're seeing on a daily basis, or something like that. Okay, ideas and inspirations can be from anywhere, and it is really necessary for you to sketch and scribble all these ideas, because even if you're not even if you don't have any like a good hand at sketching or something, it is really mandatory to sketch something. In the right hand side, you can see like a basic scribbles or something like that, right, with a pencil, pen and colors. That is actually a concept diagram. That is how it works. Okay, in this image you can see left side a layout with so many arrow marks and everything. That is nothing but basically they are understanding how the wind is flowing, how the sunlight is coming in, how people are going to move inside a space, the circulation pattern. All these things we have to sketch and see, basically sketch everything possible and see. Okay, in this slide you can see scribbles in the form of a shoe or something like that. That is what the first thing which came into my mind when I just saw this concept sketch. This was actually like a concept sketch for a furniture which was designed by the greatest architect Franco Gehry. Okay, the chair was called a bubble lounge chair. Yeah. Okay, so you can relate right, how the concept sketches can be evolved into ideas as well. Okay, I think yeah, this is a perfect example. You can see how a simple scribble is done on the first half, and in the second half that actually evolved into a whole great museum which is called the Bilbao Museum. Okay, so now you know how ideas or inspirations are taken. Even it can come from the scribbling. That is why I say sketch everything, draw a few things and say, even if you don't have a good hand at drawing, it is advisable to draw something. Okay, so the schematic design phase is always about ideas, concepts and inspirations you get, and how we are going to do in the design. Okay, now you know the analysis, and now you know what research you should do, and now you know how to concept or like evolve ideas. Okay, how you can evolve your ideas into design. Okay, here comes the next phase. This is the design development phase, which is really important. Okay, all these phases are like really important, but this design development phase is like the finalizing or deciding phase. Okay, so in this phase what we will be doing is we'll be designing everything. Okay, we can get an idea, or we can do the research, we can get ideas and everything, but this is where you finalize everything. What materials are going to come, what will be the height, what will be the width of anything, what color it is going to be, what textures it is going to be, what patterns it's going to be. So each and everything you will be deciding in this design development phase. Okay, for example, I can show you this. Okay, this is a simple rendered layout plan which is digitally rendered. Okay, here you can see like you can understand just by seeing it, right, how what materials are going to be used, what is the color of materials which is running, how many seater table is there. Each and everything you can understand, right? And in the right side you can see like a little tile pattern with the finalized materials. Okay, and in the bottom you can see what kind of furniture is being used as well. Okay, so this is the phase. Design development phase is something which is you're going to design everything, no more changes after this. Okay, this is like the final input for your design. Okay, talking about rendered things and what you're going to show to the client, the presentation, it doesn't have to be like digitally rendered. You don't have to know so much softwares and do everything. It can be as simple as hand sketches also. No one is going to bother. Actually, hand sketches have more weightage than digital presentations, because the client who is going to take a look at that will obviously know that you're putting so much efforts. You're drawing something out of hand and showing them. It obviously shows that you're putting so much effort. Okay. Okay, here also you can see the render layout. This is the design development phase, as in like the whole development of design takes part in this kind of this particular phase. Okay, clear with this phase? Can we move to the next one, guys? Yes, no, okay. Right. Next one is the construction drawings phase. Okay, so in construction drawings, now you have done research, now you have designed, now you have finalized everything. But what happens in the construction drawings phase is you're going to provide everything in a format which is finalized. As in, like, for example, you are not going to be the only person who is working on the design. There will be carpenters, there will be electricians, there will be plumbers, and so many people as well. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to deliver your ideas in a format which is acceptable, which is understandable by everyone. Okay, for example, you can see this detailed drawing sheet. Okay, this is how a detailed drawing sheet looks. Okay, and in the left side you can see a plan, elevation, sections of a simple design, which is a bed design. Okay, for by seeing this bed design, you can understand the bed has an open storage, under storage with a hydraulic mechanism. You literally describe each and everything in the construction drawings, so that there are going to be no mistakes at all, because you're right from your side. You have to mention, like, what ply you're going to use, what if you're going to use a veneer, if you're going to use a laminate, what mechanism you're going to use, if there is a metal strip or a metal rod kind of line, what is the thickness of the rod which is running, what material it is. So each and everything will be clear cut explained in this particular construction drawing phase. Okay, right side, you can see, right side top, you can see a wardrobe design. Okay, you will put the elevation, sections, plans of everything, like how much thickness the wardrobe shutter is going to be, what kind of hinges are going to be done, whether what kind of handles are going to be placed on that design, whether it is going to be a profile handle or a inbuilt handle or a knob kind of handle. So usually wardrobes have a rod, like for a hanging rod. So you have to mention, like, what is the thickness of the rod, if it's going to be stainless steel, if it is going to be aluminum. So each and everything, and also, like, where the light fixtures are coming inside the wardrobe, we usually have light fixtures, right? So everything possibly you have to mention in the construction drawing phase. You don't have to worry about doing all these by yourself. If you are if you're from design background, obviously you might have known some softwares for doing the drafting and everything. Otherwise, if you're going to start a business, you can easily hire draftsmen who can get the work done for you. Okay, you just have to be clear with the these things, the design and everything. And also, it is like really important to have include this phase in any design, because, for example, I can tell you, if you see a really nice design image in a Pinterest or Instagram or something like that, you can't like show it to the carpenter or electrician or lighting consultant and tell them, like, this is what I need. Because if you don't provide the construction drawings, obviously they are going to make a mistake, one mistake or the other. They might not be aware of what ply to use, what material to use, or nothing like that. There is no word of mouth design confirmation in interior design at all. Okay, so whatever you do, they are going to mess you. Even if you show a picture, send them like, okay, this is what I want, and ask them to do it at site, they are going to mess up for sure. Okay, that is why we need to provide everything clear cut in the form of construction drawings. Okay, clear with it? It is really important. Okay. Okay. Next comes the last phase, which is the execution phase. Execution phase, what you do, you have done the research, you have designed, you have finalized the construction drawings, you have provided that to the carpenter or electrician or plumber. Now you are good to go. This is where the final the execution part takes place. Okay, so these are basically 5 design steps you have to apply for everything possibly. As in, like, even if it's a small furniture design you're going to make, you have to do all these. Don't skip any phases out of this. Okay, because most of the people who are like interior design or something like that, they don't follow these steps. They don't follow these steps at all, because and these are the steps which are going to make us unique if you do the work as well. Okay, clear with the 5 phases of interior design? Okay, now what we are going to look at it, some people might be new to this field, okay, like if you might not have any background in designing or something like that, and some people have some knowledge, we might have been interior designer as well. So I'll be listing out few traits you should have as an interior designer, like these are really important. I'll be telling you everything, and I'll also tell you why it is really important in this particular field as well. Okay. Okay, so the first trait you should have as an interior designer is understanding design principles and elements. Okay, can anyone like tell me few design principles or elements that comes to your mind? If you're from design background, you might have been familiar with this term, right? Can anyone like tell me? Um, I think you can unmute yourself and tell me. Let me know also. Yeah,
Unity, harmony, balance.
unity, harmony, balance. Okay, great. That is correct. Some more
Rhythm,
rhythm,
repetition.
uh,
Focus.
focus.
They both are same.
Great. Okay. Scale and proportion, balance, symmetry. Okay. So design principles and design elements. We have like 7 design principles basically, and few design five or no 6 design elements. Okay. Okay. So it is really, really, really important to understand what design elements or what design principles are and how we are going to impart them in your design. Okay. So first of all, for example, in the left hand side of this screen, you can see like repetition, contrast, balance, symmetry, balance, tension, hierarchy, alignment, all these things. All these things are like design element, design principles. Okay. So design principles are something like, okay, we know about life principles, right? Life principles are something which gives discipline to our life, which gives justice to our life. The same way it applies for design principles also. It is going to justify your design. It will bring discipline to your design. It will give you a flow, a proper peace and unity to your design. That is how design principles are. Okay. And it is really important to understand what each and everything means, where you can use it, how you can use it, when you can use it, in what form you can use it. For example, if you're taking repetition, you can use it in the form of furniture placement, or you can use it in the color of the material you're going to use everywhere. For example, neutral shade walls, neutral shade fabric for a sofa, neutral shade rug. So this comes under repetition. Okay. So for example, if you're taking contrast can be in the shape or form or anything like that. Okay. So it doesn't have to be only color contrast. So that is why I tell you, you have to understand each and every term possibly, and you must have a knowledge about where you're going to use as well, how you're going to use, which form you're going to use, and also when you're going to use that particular design principle or design element. Okay. On the other hand, in design elements or form, shape, color, texture, pattern, these kind of things. Okay. So these kind of things are like you have to understand the relationship between design principles and elements, and you have to have a design skill. Like it is mandatory to start with all these things for any interior designer. Okay. It is really important, guys, because it will give you a piece in design. Okay. It is really important for everyone to interior designers to understand all these things. You must have knowledge, even if you don't know previously, like start with it. This is like the first starting point of interior any life of an interior designer. Okay. The next one is the presentation. Okay. So presentation, what presentation actually means here is how you're going to present your design to the client. Okay. So the first, now we have some sort of knowledge about how design works, like the 5 stages of design, and the design skills, like where you should start and everything. Okay. Okay. For example, let us say you have done the design. You're going to present it to the client. Okay. The presentation is really important because that is going to decide your fate, because that will be the deciding factor whether you're going to get the project or not. Because the client is someone who is investing lakhs or even crores of money for a particular design, right? Obviously, only very fancy people hire interior designers for their design as well. So it is going to be the designing factor how you're going to present. Okay. For example, you can see a presentation sheet in this slide. Okay. So what we are looking at is a simple design sheet, and whenever they are looking at this thing, they understand what you have designed. So the design presentation should be understandable. Okay. And one really, really, really important thing is giving attention to details. Okay. The more attention to details you give, the more probably you're going to get the project, because attention to details shows that you're putting so much effort for one particular design. You in the presentation sheets, you should include what type of plants you're going to use, what color of metals you're going to use, what is the tile pattern which is going to be, what is the color of the tile, what color trend you're following. Even if you're going to use a furniture, what type of fabric runs, what type of patterns run in that particular fabric. Or if you're going to do a light fixture, whether it is going to be a warm light, what is the color temperature, what is the lighting intensity. So all these things possibly show in any design presentation, because that is what it is going to be a deciding factor of your fate. Okay, so okay, now we know what presentation is, how we have vaguely have an idea how a presentation works, right? Okay, the next common tool for any presentation is mood board. Okay, so are you guys familiar with the term mood board? How many of us have heard the term mood board? What a mood board is? Can you guys unmute and tell me, because I'm not able to see the chat box. Mood board, have you are you guys familiar with the term mood board? Have you heard it before?
No, ma'am.
No.
Yes,
Okay, that
ma'am.
is okay. Yes. Okay, the person who told yes, can you just tell me what your idea about a mood board is?
It can like show materials in that mood board. We can show what
Mhm.
type of material we use in our design.
Great. Okay, so it is like a showcase of your design. Okay, that is what you're telling, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So anyone else, does anyone else want to answer the question? Your idea about a mood board? No. Okay, so mood board is something like a digital representation of your idea, of your thoughts. Okay, it is going to be one particular sheet, only one sheet, with a collage of so many pictures. Okay, whatever picture you find relatable to that to your particular design, you are going to present a mood board. For example, I can show you. Okay, in the screen you can see like 3 different mood boards. Okay, I'll be explaining what everything is as well. Okay, in the first thing you see a hand-drawn mood board. Okay, so hand-drawn board, that is not relevant to interior design, but still a mood board which is like hand-drawn. Am I audible? Am I audible enough? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so this is what a hand-drawn mood board is. In the left side of the page you can see. Okay, so but just by understanding, for example, you can see there are like 3 pictures, like a cute little seater with black and white polka dots, and a 3-way light stand, and also a shelf with plants arranged, plants and books and everything arranged in it. Okay, so by just looking at this picture, what can you understand? Okay, the client can understand, the person who is seeing can understand that the design is going to involve very light color board, a contrast of black and whites, and the metal color of the metal which they are going to use is going to be rose gold, and there are lots of plants involved. So you get an idea of how the design is going to be, right? So this is what called a mood board. In the second image you can see a digital collage of a mood board. Okay, so it is going to be like a compilation of your ideas. Okay, what can you infer with that particular image, with the second image is, okay, the color of the wood which is used is going to be very dark, very raw finish, very natural finish. It is not like polished or treated kind of wood. It is going to be very natural. There are going to be very neutral shades, no contrast or bright shades, no vibrant colors at all, and lots of glass is used, lots of hanging lights are used, lots of plants are used, and the color of the fabric of a sofa is going to be very neutral, and similar kind of carpet is going to be used. So all these things you can understand just by looking at the mood board. Okay, so whatever possibly you can find relating to any design, you have to add that to the mood board. This is like, mood board is going to be a compilation of your idea how the design is going to turn out. Okay, and this is like a digitally rendered mood board. And in the third image you can see, what you are seeing is a physical mood board. So in physical mood board, what we do is we collect samples. We collect samples and present it in front of the client. Okay, we get the what do you call, paint card of that, what shades we are going to involve, and the samples of the laminates, the samples of the fabrics, the even the smallest metal if you're going to use, the sample of everything in that particular mood board, and present it in front of the client. Okay, so the rather than the digital and the hand-drawn mood board, physical mood board creates more excitement to the client. Okay, it is really important to use such sort of, because it feels like they are seeing something in front of them. It really excites them. Okay, and also it shows that you're putting so much effort finding materials and everything, and also it is easy to what do you say, suggest alternatives with the physical mood board. Because for example, you can say if the client is not happy with that particular kind of wood laminate which is used in the design, if she asks you like, okay, can I see this with some other color of wood or something like that, you literally have to replace that particular laminate and show them like this is how the unity is going to work or something like that. It is like comparatively easy and exciting to see a physical mood board. Okay, so now can like, are we clear with the term mood board, or does anyone have a question or something like that? Yes, no? Guys, please unmute and talk.
We are clear, ma'am.
Okay, great, Shravanti. Thank you for your answer. Okay, great. Oh, okay, I see the chat box as well. Okay, now understand what a mood board is. Mood board is like really important, and it will be at the front of any presentation. Okay, whatever you're going to present, first page will be the mood board. So it gives the idea to the client that how your design skills are. Okay, and really, guys, people are going to judge you with your mood board. It tells you about how much knowledge you have, how much experience you have, and all these things. But it is really you just have to be really careful while compiling a mood board. Okay. The next one is the professional furniture sourcing skills. Okay, so what this exactly means is, okay, for like I told you in the beginning of the class, I just told you like designer is someone who designs everything. Okay, but it is not wrong to buy things from outside also, because obviously not everything we can design on site. We obviously have to buy a few things from outside. So whenever you're buying something, whenever you're outsourcing something, you have to do it in a professional manner. Okay, you can't just be like, okay, this piece of sofa is really cute, I want to put that in my space. It is not going to work like that. As I told you in the beginning, there are so many factors. As designer, we have to look into how it is going to react with the environment, how people are going to be psychologically affected by that particular piece you're going to buy, what is the environmental effects of this effects of that particular piece, whether it is going to generate so much heat, whether it is going to absorb heat, or what kind of physical barrier or a physical effect does it have inside a particular space. So all these things we have to consider before buying something. Okay, we just can't obviously everything looks nice, really everything looks nice, but not everything will fit inside your space also. Okay, for example, you can say okay, here you can see like three different images. Okay, in the first image you can see a very nice light, neutral and subtle themed a dining area. Okay, and the lighting you see in that particular area is obviously not done on site, it is bought from somewhere. Okay, but even though it is brought from somewhere, it goes well with the theme. Okay, the color matches the theme, and it is a hanging light, right? And also it has been like carefully placed in such a way that it doesn't disturb the social activity of that area, and obviously that amount of heat which is generated, it is not too much or something like that. Okay, so this is what I talk about professionally sourcing something from outside. And obviously even the flower vase which is set on the table, right, it is, you're not going to make it on site, you're obviously buying it from outside, but can you see like how well it goes with the theme and everything? It doesn't irritate the eyes of the people. Okay, so this is what I talk about when I tell it in a professional manner. In the second image you can see a whole wall is textured. Okay, there is so much texture running in that whole wall, but still it is not common because we don't see such kind of design on a daily basis. But still what you feel, the whole theme is not disturbed at all. Okay, there is unity with the furniture piece, the flooring, the side table, as well as the wall. It doesn't irritate the eyes of the people. Okay, and in the next image, in the third image, you can actually see a floor. It seems like the wall is broken or something like that. Okay, but they have beautifully cladded with a warm based metal. So warm based metal go well with the paint, the color of the walls, like the neutral shades, the warm neutrals and everything. It is not irritating, and it is, plus it is covering the floor as well. Okay, so now you understand how doing it in a professional manner means. Like, it is not only about good looking, but all the factors you have to consider right before starting buying something from outside. Okay, so clear with the professional furniture sourcing skills? Yeah. Next one, knowledge about interior design, material finishes. Okay, this is also one really important thing which no one is going to teach you, even if you pay. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I'm back. So even if you're paying like lakhs and thousands of rupees to study something, this thing from a college or an institute or school, they are going to teach you only 1% of what is happening in reality. They are not going to teach you anything else at all. Okay, so knowledge about interior design, material finishes. So what I would say is, get knowledge as much as possible, as in like even okay, for example, if you're taking a laminate, okay, so laminate, you have to know about what are the textures available, what are the colors available, what are the type of stains available, what kind of finishes available, whether it is going to be satin finish, glossy finish, matte gloss finish, matte finish, high gloss finish, pu finish. What is the standard thickness of the laminate which is available, what is the standard size of the laminate sheets we are going to get. So all these things you have to have knowledge about. Okay, so I would say like Google or Pinterest are really nice teachers. They teach you a lot. Whenever you want something, you just Google and find out everything. But knowledge about this particular thing is not going to be found on Google, because you can find something rubbish on Google, but it is not going to help you at all. So what I would say is, go to local vendors, go to local market, talk to vendors, because they'll have so much knowledge about these particular material finishes than you will ever have in your career life. So it is really important to talk to people about it, because Google might help you a little bit, but it is not talking about the reality. Okay, it is just on a general basis. But when you talk to vendors, you get to know so many things. What are the whatever questions you have, you can ask them, and get to know everything. What is the standard price, what is the maximum price of that particular material, how much days does it take to get delivered on site, how much what are the possible finishes you can get it done, what is the standard thickness, what size of whether it is customized or something like that. Whatever questions you have in mind, you can get it cleared with the local vendors. They are going to teach you a lot. Okay, rather than paying to colleges or institutes or something like that, you can get this kind of knowledge. And like one more important thing you have to have as an interior designer is spontaneity. Okay, so what I talk about spontaneity is, for example, you say a client is not happy with one particular material. Okay, like we are talking about laminate so much. Say okay, there is a eastern window in your site. Okay, a large big window, French window kind of thing in your site. Okay, what you are suggesting is a 6 mm or 5 mm thick clear glass. Okay, but the client is not happy with that particular clear glass. So what and he tells you that what you can suggest in that area is, you have to like spontaneously act and suggest some other alternative to that particular thing. As in, like, you can tell, okay, if you don't like clear glass, we can go for a satin finished glass, or a matte finished glass, or a frosted glass, or an acid glass, or a stained glass, or something like that. Okay, so that is what you must have the knowledge about that particular thing, and you must be ready to act spontaneously and tell them that alternative as well. Okay, and one more thing is, like, okay, for example, if they say, if the person on site is not happy with glass at all, they want some other thing, you have to act spontaneously in that site, and instead of windows and glass, we can create CNC cut panels, or a metal CNC panels, or MDF panels, or also you can create jolly works or something like that. Okay, so this is what I meant about not having knowledge about interior design, material finishes. Okay, it is really important to know the price, know the various finishes, various sizes, various customization, how much days it takes to get delivered. So all these things you have to have knowledge right before diving into this field. Okay. Okay, this one is like a really random pictures I found with so many different materials, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking to. Okay, so the next one is the idea of developing floor plan, section, elevations, and detailed drawing. Okay, just like I said you in the beginning of the class, you are not the only person who is going to work for a design. There will be carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and so many other persons as well. Okay, so whatever idea, whatever design you're doing, you must deliver it in a format that is understandable, that is universally acceptable. Okay, it is really important to do this thing, guys, because as I told you, you can't just show a photo to them and ask them to do it on site. It is not going to come out the way you're expecting it. It is really important to deliver detailed drawings to everything possible. For example, if you're creating a study table, okay, you must mention them like what kind of mechanism you're using for a drawers, what kind of mechanism you're using for shutters. So each and everything you have to mention also. What kind of like ply you're going to use, what is the thickness of the ply you're going to use, because people might not be aware of so many things. Okay, if you're working with a carpenter and with a simple drawer, okay, you must mention what is the thickness of the ply which is going to come at the front side of the drawer, what is the thickness of the ply, like for example, like a 12 mm or a 10 mm ply can come in the face side of the drawer, and for the base side you have to produce like a 19 mm thick ply. And if you're doing for okay, for example, you can say if you're going for a duco paint finish, it cannot be done on top of ply. Okay, it can be done only on top of MDF, and there should be like minimum of 2 layers for any duco paint finish. So all these things you have to mention in the detailed drawings so that no mistakes are done on site at all. Okay, so it might sound like really vague, but it is really important. Just try to understand all these things what I am saying. Okay, so it is really important to give sections, plans, elevation, and detailed drawing for everything possible. Even for a small drawer which you are going to make, do this thing, and there will be no mistakes at all. Okay, next one. Next one is learning different units of measurements. Okay, as designer, we deal with so many different units of measurements. For example, feet, inches, meters, millimeters, centimeters. So all these things we deal with on a daily basis. Okay, so for starting your career in this particular field, you must know the conversion between all these different units. Okay, because okay, for example, like let's say you are comfortable working with inches, feet and inches, and the person who is working on site, for example, an electrician, he is familiar with not feet and inches. You must have the spontaneity to act on site, get that thing converted to what unit they are asking. Okay, it is really important because people are going to judge you really bad with this. If you don't know the basic units of measurements, the conversion and everything, they'll assume that you don't know anything at all. It is like I have faced that same problem. So that is why I'm telling you, learn different units of measurements. People are going to judge you so bad with this particular thing. Okay, it is really important and helpful as well. I'm not asking you to study like fancy units of measurements like yards or something like that. Basically, feet, inches, meters. So this is what we basically use. Know the conversion of all these things. Okay, next one is the ability to create a brand image. Okay, so whether you're working under a company, or if you're going to start a business out of interior design or something, it is very it is really what do you call, mandatory to create a brand image. Okay, so what brand image actually means is how you are exposing yourself to the outer world. Okay, because the clients or someone, they won't be like, okay, living in another part of the country, they won't be like, okay, Nilofer is working in Bangalore, I'm going to give the project to her. That is not how it works. They'll obviously have so many options. Okay, we have to stand out of those options. So what you have to create a brand identity for that. So what a brand identity is included is your communication, your logo, your behavior, your language, mission, vision, culture, and design as well. Okay, so talking about logo, people are going to judge you really bad in this field. Like get prepared for that thing also. Okay, and when you're talking about logo, people also judge with the name you're going to give for your business, the logo you're going to use, the what color you're going to use in that logo, what is the proportion of the logo near your name. So each and everything affects everyone psychologically. They are going to judge you with everything. And also, one real important thing is talk with confidence, because like even if you don't have the confidence to attend a client meeting or talk to the client or do a presentation, shoo away all the negativity and pretend as if like you are at the top of the world, because only then they'll be able to trust you. We have to trust ourselves first. Okay, then only people will trust you with money and everything. So it is really important to create a brand identity, show up with so much self-esteem and confidence, and pretend like you are at the top of the world and nobody can touch you. Even if you make some sort of mistake, your confidence is going to give hand for that in that area. Okay, so brand identity, it's a vast topic. I'm just mentioning like few things you have to focus on. Okay, next one is creating a portfolio. Okay, so have you guys are we familiar with the term portfolio? Have you guys heard what a portfolio is? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. What is your thoughts about a portfolio?
The work I did and
Mhm.
the things which I learned and
Okay.
everything I put it in my portfolio to view the interviewer
Okay.
and
Okay. Great. Yeah. So this is what a portfolio is. So portfolio is going to be the compilation of your works. Okay. It is going to be one single document which people are going to judge you about your experience, your knowledge, your educational background, everything they'll come to know with that particular document. Okay. So how a portfolio works is, first of all, you will be having a resume at the start of the portfolio. In resume you'll be adding what where you worked, where you studied, which year you were born, what are the skills you have, what softwares you know, how much languages you know, what your interests, skills and everything are. So these things we will be adding in the resume page of the portfolio. And it is really important to add references, at least 3 references add in your resume, because like only then people will know that people are ready to refer you, someone is ready to refer you, someone from this design background or something, they, excuse me, they are ready to refer you. So add 3 references. And continuing that, you will be adding all your works. Okay. While I talk about works, don't go for more than 3 projects, because no one will have the interest to look at like a 100-page document which is going to talk about yourself. Okay. So maximum make it like a crisp and short, as in like a 20 pages maximum or something like that, and don't go for more than 3 works at all. Okay. And also it is really important to add skills and your interest in your portfolio. I'll tell you why. Excuse me. So okay, why do we need to add interest and skills in our portfolio? It is going to get you the dream job you have been ever dreaming of. Okay. So think it as a tool, think it as a tool to get you the dream job you have been dreaming for example, I would say I'm an artist. Okay. I really draw things and so much I pretend whenever a person is looking at my portfolio, by the interest and skill section, they will know that I am a good artist. Okay. And I know few softwares which create sculptures and everything. That is really not relevant to interior design at all, but still I added that in my portfolio and I started applying. So what happened is, right now I am working in a company in which my boss or my founder, whatever work they assign me, it is some way or the other connected to art. Okay. So I really love what I'm doing as well. It doesn't feel like, if even if I work like 9 to 10 hours a day, I don't feel like it is a burden to me at all. I really love and I really enjoy what I'm doing. So it is really mandatory to add skills and interest in your portfolio, even if it is not relevant to that particular field. Some way or the other it will be helpful for you. Okay. Maybe I can quickly show you my portfolio, academic portfolio, by the end of this section. Okay. Oh, it's already 8. Okay. Next one is the selling system. So what selling system actually means is, even if you're going to design something or becoming a starting a business in interior design, you must have the knowledge about how marketing and selling actually works, because uh, without that it is a waste of time and energy. Okay. Selling system, what I mean about selling system is, what is the profit you have to make initially, and after 5 years what profit, how your profit can increase, what is the capital investment, what is the capital gain you're going to get. So all these terms you should be familiar with. And selling systems also, selling system, I mean like how to price your project correctly. Okay. So as interior designer, we charge about 2 to 10% or even 12% of the whole budget of the project. Okay. So it is mandatory to understand how much you're going to charge for each and everything. Whether if for example, if you're not going to do the project and you're going for consultation only, you must have the price range which is not so profitable, which is going to like a really high profit or a very low profit also. I'll tell you why. Because I have seen like many people, my friends and everyone, they started business initially right after graduation without knowing the selling system or marketing system. What really happened is, initially they were like, okay, even if I don't get the project at also I'm sorry, even if I don't get any profit also, I'll start few projects with this, and I'll build my circle or something like that. But what really happens is, when you work with no literally less profit or very little recognition, if you don't get the recognition you deserve, you lose interest. Okay. You lose interest after 2 or 3 projects, okay, and you might drop out of business also. So that is why I am saying, like, price the thing correctly. Like, you must have the ability to price your project at a like valuable, with a valuable profit. Okay, so this is it. I'll just stop my sharing my screen and share it again. I'll quickly run through my portfolio, because you might have a little understanding of how a portfolio works. Okay, it is going to take like 30 seconds or something like that. Okay. Okay, is screen visible? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. After the cover page, this is what my resume looked like. Okay. I included what lectures, workshops I have attended, my achievements, my software skills, where I studied and everything, also with the references. Okay. So after that, I started adding my contents, as in, like, this was my academic thesis project during my 5th year of architecture. Okay, I included like a few pages of my academic thesis, because that was a 6 month project. It was like my life-changing project. And next one, I added like few competition entries which I had done, which I had designed as well. The first one was an award-winning competition entry for which was hosted by UCSI University, which is in Malaysia. The site and everything was in Malaysia only. This thing I out of hard work and my ideas, I even won the competition. So I included that thing. And next one, I added another one, healthcare design, which was a competition entry. I didn't win this project because it was a huge competition. It was hosted by all Asian Institute of Low Carbon Design, which is based on Japan. So I designed a healthcare unit for that, and all my inside of the project I added there. And also an interior design competition entry for art days on partnership with Cartwheel Design Studios. That thing I added. Then my freelancing works I added. And obviously after that, my achievements and interests. Okay, so talking about achievements and interests, I told you about the 2 weeks a student exchange program kind of thing, which I went to Germany, right? So I had included that thing in my portfolio, selection letter of that thing, then my artworks and everything. So it people, whenever they look for this thing, they might get an idea that I'm interested in art. Then I also included my international like design manifesto, which got published in an international conference and design. So all these things, it is mandatory to add in your